Hi kids, it's Grumpy. Let's read a book. Hi kids, it's Grumpy again. Let's read a book. We're going to continue reading these Disney's 5-minute bedtime stories until there's none left. This is a magical collection of Disney tales, and look at all those Disney characters. All right, today's story looks like we're going to be talking about Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. All right, there's Snow White with black hair. And here is all the dwarves. And there's Doc and Grumpy. Let's see. Sleepy, Dopey. I don't remember the other two. Bashful and Sneezy, I think. I just don't know which is which. Probably that's Sneezy with the big old nose. So anyway, there's, look, 7 little tiny beds. That's probably for the dwarves. And there's a pot in the fireplace cooking. So what this story is called is Bad Dreams. Nestled in the deepest part of faraway forest sat a little house, and in that house lived 7 dwarves: Doc, Happy, Grumpy, Dopey, Sleepy, Sneezy, and Bashful, and one runaway princess, Snow White. This morning the house was filled with the delicious smell of fresh cinnamon porridge. Snow White had risen early to prepare a special breakfast for her new friends. And it wasn't long before every last dwarf, even Sleepy, followed his nose from his bed to breakfast. "Good morning," Snow White greeted the dwarves. "Did everyone sleep well?" "Like a lady," Doc replied, like a baby. "What about you, princess?" Snow White shook her head. "I had a bad dream," she admitted. "I dreamed that my stepmother, the wicked queen, was coming to get me." "Oh no," Happy cried. "If she's coming, you'd better hide." "And quick," Grumpy added. Grumpy. I'm grumpy. Anyway, that queen is trouble, through and through. Mark my words. The other dwarfs nodded, looking nervous. Dopey even hid under the table. Snow White laughed. "Hide? Oh my, aren't you all silly?" she exclaimed. "Why, you should know that dreams aren't real." "They can't hurt you one bit," she smiled at the dwarves. "What about all of you? What did you dream about last night?" Doc spoke first. "I dreamed I was giving a speech, that is, a speech in front of the entire kingdom," he shrugged sheepishly. "And for some reason, I just couldn't make the words come out right." Happy laughed cheerfully. "I dreamed about all the things that make me happy, like friends and work and butterflies and apple dumplings. Well, gosh, I guess all sorts of things. Just about everything makes me happy, you know," he giggled. "Why, even my dream made me happy." "Not mine. I had a terrible dream," Sleepy said, with a yawn. "I dreamed I was bone tired, but I couldn't fall asleep no matter what I tried. It was awful." "Achoo!" Sneezy sneezed. He wiped his nose. "I dreamed I was sneezing." "Are you sure it was a dream, Sneezy?" Happy asked. Sneezy sneezed again, and then nodded. "I think so, because in my dream I kept sneezing flowers, and every time I sneezed, bore flowers, they bade be sneeze even bore." "What about you, Bashful?" Snow White asked. Bashful rubbed his ear. "Gosh," he said, blushing. I dreamed that I was a brave prince." "Anything else?" asked Snow White. Bashful turned a deeper red. "I rode into battle and fought a fierce dragon," he added. Snow White smiled. "That's wonderful. Good for you." Bashful grinned shyly. "Humph," Grumpy spoke up. "Dreams. Bunch of nonsense." Snow White smiled at him. "It's your turn, Grumpy," he said. "What did you dream about?" At first, Grumpy wouldn't tell, but finally he gave in. "Well, if you must know," he grumbled, "I dreamed about a pie, an apple pie. Very tasty, and I had it all to myself. No sharing." That sounds like a pretty good dream. Having a pie all to yourself. Oh, what's this dream about? Dopey, Snow White said, did you have a dream last night? Dopey shook his head, looking sheepish. Grumpy rolled his eyes. Of course he did, he snapped. Grumpy's right, Doc said. Dopey has the same night every dream, or the same dream every night. Happy nodded. He dreams he's the wisest ruler ever to sit on a throne. Oh, Snow White said, clapping her hands. That sounds like a marvelous dream, Dopey. She looked around at each of the dwarves. You all had very interesting dreams. But what about your dream, Princess? Bashful spoke up quietly. Aren't you scared? Not a bit, Snow White replied, because I know it wasn't real. Some dreams are scary, some are funny, some are nice. She smiled, but remembered. One thing is the same about every dream. They're all just make-believe. They disappear as soon as you wake up. I think it's time to make this breakfast disappear, grumbled Grumpy. And that's just what they did. They ate their breakfast. They were tired of talking and their tummies needed some nourishment. Okay, that's the end of this little story. What do you think about that one, kids? You think the queen is scary and was going to get her, or you think it was just a dream? They all had pretty interesting dreams, that's for sure. There's all the dwarves with Snow White again. And there's Dopey being king, a wise king. So anyway, that's the end of this story. And what we'll do is we'll try to get through this book. It doesn't look like there's just a few more stories left. But until then, kids, be excellent.